How y'all doing today? So listen, I'm trying to get some good lighting here. And I'm making this video with the knowledge that it might not reach anyone at all, to be honest. Um, and I know that I'm being shadow banned from social media from delivering my messages. So I'll just, post these lives with a grain of salt, hoping that it reaches who it needs to reach. And if it doesn't, oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. So just recently, this is not working because there's no good lighting here. Just recently, I get this right. Here you go. Yeah, serious. Yes, yes, Paul. What's up? Okay, give me a second. So, I'm going live right now because I have something very serious to talk about. No joke, no joke, right? Something very serious. I don't want to play with it, right? So, um, as some of you may know, um, something very awful happened to me some years ago, back in 2017. I was living in Manhattan and I was raising my two underage daughters. Um, and I found a little quaint apartment. I don't want to drag out the story or whatever because I'm trying to get to a specific point. While I was taking care of and raising my daughters in this community, and I had just put them in school. I was going through a whole breakup with their father. I was just, I had two babies back to back. I was trying at that point to just get on my feet, get myself together. I have a small company, as you see, Army of Diamonds Entertainment, and I was just trying to get it together and pull myself back together after having my two little sweethearts back to back and going through this breakup. So, in any case, I put them in school. I started to get on my feet. I started to just pick up my company again because I'm a singer songwriter, and my company is its concentration is music and film production. Okay. So when I put them in school, I started to have issues, I mean, problems with the school administration right away, right away. First of all, I was living in this uppity community that I heard many times from many people there, not everybody, but a couple of people, racist people, that they would say things like where do you come from and what are you people doing over here, those kind of things. And so when I realized that, I realized there was going to be an issue with me living in this community. That being said, I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter because, I'm paying rent and I'm not going to let anybody tell me where I can live in New York, you would think, right? You're paying big rent. You don't think that you just don't really think that a neighborhood is redlined in New York, right? I just wasn't aware that this particular community was a racist community and that it was redlined. It was redlined for specific people, and people like me, quote unquote, as they would tell me here and there, is people like me would what am I doing here? So, started to become a problem. When I gathered my information, my documents, I wanted to go and put my small daughters, they were about 3 and 4 years old at the time. I went to put them into school, and they were accepted. I used my self employment as an entrepreneur, Army of Diamonds, to put them into school. And I started to notice that the school was targeting me. I noticed immediately that my daughters were, and just, okay, how can I put this? My daughters were probably the only two little so called black girls in the class. I identify as American Indian, but for the sake of just, briefness, I'll just use the term black. Okay, so I'm not going to get in too much into that, but so I noticed that it wasn't too many black people in the classrooms that my daughters that I put my daughters in. Now, as time went by, I just noticed a lot of things. I noticed that my daughters, and you notice these things because, well, I noticed these things because I've gone through these things myself as a kid, right? I've gone through teachers not giving me the credits that I deserve when I do particular work in the classroom. They'll like try to overlook me. And I noticed that my daughters, my daughters were going through this. But hold on to that because I think I kind of jumped. I jumped ahead to another situation. I'm talking about the daycare, the daycare center that my 4 year old, 3 year old, and my 4 year old, right? This is even before they school, the other charter school, Success Center in Lenox Hill. Okay, they're very, very racist, very prejudiced there. So, unfortunately, to make a long story short, I had been sending my daughters there, and they didn't they didn't appreciate, and they didn't like the fact that I had my daughters in that school, because when I looked around, it was pretty much more Mexican people and more Latina people, and they were getting the service. They were getting the service. They were getting special treatment at the school. I noticed it every time I took my girls to school, how they would purposely like overlook me or walk past me. Just little things, little microaggressive things they would do. Now, one day, I'll tell you a little story. One day, my daughter came home and she says, "Oh, mom, I'm tired." And I'm like, "Why are you so tired?" She's like, "Oh, because I don't want to go back to school. I just don't want to go back to school." So she tells me the story about how she's so tired she doesn't want to go back to school. I was surprised about that because every day I had been dropping her off. I was like, I know she's going to be having fun. This is what you expect when you're bringing your kids to school. School is supposed to be fun, learning, and all that. And when she told me that she was tired and she didn't want to go back to school, it raised a red flag with me. So I questioned her. I was like, "Well, why? What's going on? What happened?" Right? And she tells me, "Well, because, I'm so tired. She said, and she's so smart. Like my kids, I'm a very proud mom to say that my kids, from the biggest ones, oldest ones, to, and I don't like to use old because my kids are not old; they're still my babies, but from the young adults all the way to my little ones, they are intelligent. They're intelligent, and they have their magnetism, and they they're just highly intellectual beings, right? And I appreciate when I see this, and I tell them this. And of course, the younger people, they kind of say, what are you talking about, you're crazy. So they haven't come into they a lot of them don't tap into their brilliance, right? It takes some time to grow into. But in any case, my little girl, she says, I don't want to go back to school, mom, because everything that they're teaching me there, I already know. I already learned it from you, mom. So why can't I stay home with you? So I said, well, her name is Beautiful. I said, Beauty, I says, you know, you might want to go to school because you want to meet people, you want to interact with people, you're going to meet friends, you're going to socialize with people, and you're going to have a good time. That's why you go to school. It's for the benefit of just being out of the house so that you can meet people and you can learn the world. And she's like, no, 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 mom, no. No, she's like totally against it. She's like, no. And, when I think back on it, sometimes you have to admit kids are really actually smarter than some dumbass parents, right? Because they know things that you may not know. They know things. And they're trying to express it in a way that you can understand, but us as adults, we just are so we're so set in our ways that we're not listening. We're not tapping into our our intelligence. We have to use our intelligence for our babies. So, unfortunately for my daughters, I kept sending them to this school, although they would, like, every day, mom, we wanna stay with you. Like, we don't want to go there. Why do we have to go there, mom? You know, boy, if you could turn back the hands of time. In any case, I kept sending them, and it turned out to be like a really awful experience for them. It turns out that the teachers were corrupt there. The teachers were bothering them. So they both had two different teachers. The teachers ended up teaching one of my daughters a crazy, weird song that she brought home one day, and she started singing it. And it was just the weirdest song. It was in the tune of London Bridges, and it was talking about body parts, private parts. So the tune went like this. It went, when we touch our body parts, body parts, when we touch our body parts, it is funny. And when my daughters came home from school one day and they were singing this song over and over and over again, at first, since it was in the tune of London Bridges, I didn't really catch on because I thought it was London Bridges. But then as I started to listen more closely, I was like, wait a minute. I said, what are they saying? And I listened again and again. And I went to them. I questioned them about the song. I said, where did you learn this song from? And they were jumping around, and they were like doing like these little strange things that I was shocked that they would do. And um so they were like pointing and patting to their, their body parts. And I was very shocked. I was very shocked. I asked them, where did they learn this song from? And it turns out that they were saying that they learned it in school. They were learning it in school, and there were some other major details to that I won't mention for now. I will not mention for now because I don't want to incriminate anyone on this video. I just want to like focus on a particular situation. All right. So I proceeded to go to the school and ask questions. I asked the teachers, why were they teaching my daughters this crazy, weird song? Um, and like, what was the purpose? And they denied it. And my daughter was there to say yes, to confirm, yes, you did teach us this song. And the teacher was very upset. She was like, well, I'm not going to call your daughter a liar. I said, no, you won't do that. You won't do that. I guarantee you won't do that. And then she says, but we're going to have to investigate this because I don't know where she's getting this from. I said, yes, you do. She told you where she's getting this from. She's getting it from you because she said you're the one who taught her this song. You and the other teacher's assistant. You both sing this song to her every day. And then she sings it with her sister. It's a song in the tune of London Bridges, and she's singing about her body parts. And from that point on, I went through a whole damn propaganda campaign against me. They were like bad mouthing me and my kids through the school system. They would started to target my daughters. They actually ended up expelling my daughters at 3 and 4 years old. My daughters got expelled from daycare, which was like the weirdest thing for me. I mean, they didn't actually like ban me. They literally expelled my daughters from this school. I had went all around the city trying to figure out what to do. I started to be investigated by ACS. They tried to put the blame on me and my children's father. That investigation, I'm happy to say it went nowhere, but now we were still focused on the school and their teachings. Why were they teaching the children these weird, crazy songs? So, as time went by, it kind of died down, although I couldn't put my daughters back into that school. I mean, they really went to war with me. Actually, like one day I thought I could bring them to school after they had banned them for about a week or two. I brought them back to the school thinking that, the ban, whatever they had going on was over and that I could bring my daughters back to school. They approached me in the hallway like thugs, They were up in my face telling me I can't be in the building, I can't bring the kids into the school. Can you imagine how traumatic? They were only 3 and 4 years old, and these people were harassing the hell out of me. And it was so terrorizing for my daughters. My daughters were screaming, we want to go to class." They were crying, they were screaming, like they were so upset that they couldn't go to class with their peers, with their classmates, you know. And they traumatized my daughters. They were like, well, they were expelled. What's her name? Marion Detail Jowl, or whatever the hell her name is. Um, she invited me to her office to explain to me why she expelled three. I said, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You're expelling a 3 year old and a 4 year old for nothing because I reported that she learned a song about her private parts. What is wrong with you?" So of course they're going to try to make the mother or the father look bad instead of exposing the teachers that are doing it, or maybe it's their curriculum. Not maybe, but absolutely. It was part of their curriculum, because for them to turn around and try to make me look like the bad guy, they had to try to get rid of me, right? And so, lo and behold, I talked to a couple of neighbors around, because the neighborhood that I'm living in, it's not a totally bad neighborhood. Everybody in that neighborhood is not racist or bad. Let me just point that out. I had a couple of neighbors that were cool with me, and they were telling me, they said, do you know that that is when I told them what was going on, they said, "Do you know that that is like a like they do this? That they do this on a regular? That they teach the kids these kind of things behind the parents?" I use that loosely. I don't like to call myself a parent. I'm not renting my kids. I am my kid's guardian. Uh, but this neighbor, she tells me, yes, I remember a situation where a little girl going to school, or what did she say? It was her. It happened to her and her family. I think she mentioned, yeah, it was in her family, and the same thing that was going on with me happened to her and her family. And so what happened? Oh, where was I? Where was I? Yeah. So the neighbor said, that happens. It happens in school, and they do that on a regular. That they teach the kids these weird things, these strange things pertaining to sex, like sex or whatever. I said, "Oh my God, I've never heard of this. Like, I've never ever heard of this, not growing up." And I've never had, though personally, I've never had an issue with facing any kind of sexual advances or any kind of anything pertaining to my body in school. I never had to, I never was approached or had to deal with anything like that as a child growing up, right? Um, So my next thought was, okay, well, if they're banning me from sending my daughter, which, you know what, to be honest, when I think about it, I don't even know why the hell I was even trying to send them back to school. But that was my bad, because I was thinking, if they conduct an investigation and fire and, get down to the bottom of it, and maybe some teachers will get fired, or that's how I thought it was going to work out, that it was going to be handled. Um, but when they started targeting me and my daughters, I was like, oh, this is more serious than I thought. So here I was running around, writing the Department of Education, complaining to them, making grievances, um, going to ACS, sending messages through 311 to the mayor, to the governor, saying, why does this school think they have the the right to ban a 3-year old and a 4-year old from going to school? As the logo was saying, while Mayor de Blasio, I'm sorry, is it Mayor de Blasio? Yes, Mayor de Blasio, when he was in office, he had a logo that said "No Child Left Behind," or I don't know who started that, but I know he was running with that for a minute, right? And so I was questioning him. I said, you say that there's no child left behind, but you expel, and on the same token, you expel a 3-year old and a 4-year old from participating in educational activities. Something is wrong. You're not supposed to do that's unlawful, that's illegal. So as I went through a whole year making grievances and nobody's like not really even helping me, I went and tried to get a lawyer for it. They wouldn't give me a lawyer. Um, I was lacking resources to get my own lawyer, honestly. So I didn't really receive the help that I was getting. So now September comes back around, and I was sent a letter. I had applied for Success Academy charter school for my daughters. I was like, well, maybe this looks like a good look. Maybe I could get them in here, and they can go to Success Academy, and I could just forget about the hassle of trying to expose these people. Um, and I applied my daughters to Success Academy. They were accepted, or shall I say, we accepted them. Okay, they like to say, "Oh, you were accepted." And another thing, one of the principals there, they had the nerve to tell me one day, I don't think that you show gratitude for being accepted to our school. I said, why would I show gratitude for being accepted to your school when I feel like you should be showing gratitude that I gave you the opportunity to accept me into school? Or not even, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they should be showing gratitude to me. You see, they get in this cocky place where they think that, oh, because we're accepting you, you just have to kiss our feet and kiss our boots or whatever. No, no, because it's people like me that participate in your program, and that's how you run the school, is because you get participants. So who should be the ones to be appreciative? That's you and your school. And see, since I wasn't like bowing down to them, they immediately was like having an attitude with me all the time. And I didn't appreciate that. Like, I mean, yeah, I was really, really happy that that Beautiful and Miracle had gotten a chance to participate. But you're not going to treat me like I'm your damn servant, or you're not going to treat my daughters like we, need to be here, because we don't. We don't. We don't. We don't need to be here. I mean, I can make the decision to homeschool, or which I had come to that conclusion. I said, these people are trying to look down on me, and they don't like me. That's what I had started to. I said, these people don't like me because they feel like they don't like. I guess I would be considered that uppity nigger, an uppity nigger to them, because I won't bow down to you. I'm not a bootlicker, you know. I'm bringing my daughters to the school, right? I'm never asking the school for anything. Me and their father handling, we're co-parenting. We're doing our thing, taking care of our little girls, right? Bringing them to school. I decided, I came to the decision. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I'm not. They like. I don't want to get too much into why I came into that decision because it's a huge story. It's a story about my daughter revealing to me one day that they were doing some like real weird stuff. Okay, some weird stuff in the school system. Now you could see, actually, if you scroll down in your feed, you can just blatantly see how weird it got. How weird the school system got with all of this LGBT and transgender indoctrination. I didn't want to be a part of it. That's not what I teach my daughters, you know. Well, my daughter came home one day and said, Mom, oh, I won a prize because she's really smart. The teacher said I won, and the teacher said, I get to pick out two classmates, and we get a special prize. And what was the special prize? They took my daughter and her friends off to a separate classroom, to a different classroom away from their initial class, and they got to watch TV. They got to watch TV, and so I said, what was going on with it? Like, what were you watching, a movie? I'm asking a question like, what? So it just raised a red flag immediately when my daughter said they were separated and brought to another class. Wouldn't that raise a red flag with you? We're to another class. You don't have no business being separated from another class with you and just other three, two? I think she said two other classes. I mean, two other students, two other classmates in a different room. No. What's going on? What's going on? What the hell? You don't get to just do what you want with my daughter. And you know what? Lo and behold, she came and told me. And their indoctrination, they secretly tell the kids to not tell their parents. They tell the kids to not tell their parents what's going on, believe it or not. But since my daughter came and told me, they had a damn problem with me. They had a problem. Do you know they started hating on me real bad? They wanted to fight. Let me tell you how these thugs that called themselves principals, they're supposed to be principals in the school. They come on up to me, clacking their heels, clack, 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 clack. Miss Holman, talking to me like that. Miss Holman, little white girl, calm down. Okay? First of all, I'm grown. I'm a grown woman. I'm not a young teenager. Okay? I'm a grown woman. Talk to me with respect. Don't come up to me like that. That's the last thing you want to do, is try to intimidate me. Don't you dare. This is what the conversations I'm having with them. Don't come clacking your heels to me, stomping in my face. This is not the street. You're a principal. Well, I have a ban letter for you. A ban letter? That's not for me. If you want me to have a letter, send it in the mail. You know my address. Thank you. I'm not accepting anything by hand from you. No, thank you. Excuse me. I have my two daughters on the side of me. Excuse me. Move out of my way. Well, she's blocking my. Miss, move out of my way. I'm trying to bring what? My daughters have a right to go to class. That's where I'm going. I'm trying to drop my daughters to class. Why are you in my face? Because I need to talk to you because of I said, that's not the way that you are going to get to talk to me. You don't demand anything from me. Who are you? Get out my face. Get out my face. Revamp yourself. Go over there and revamp yourself and come at me in a respectful way. Okay. Now, other than that, I'm going to take my daughters. I'm grab my daughter's hands, and I'm, in a way, I have to like kind of pull them around this crazy lady who's approaching me and my daughters with beef. Because if it was in the doggone street and she did that, you know, you know how it go. Anyway, I couldn't even believe it. Dropped my kids off. She's like lingering, waiting. Well, can you meet with? No, I cannot meet with you. No, you will not meet with me. And I did not meet with her. I would not meet with her. Actually, I wrote the founder of the school because she did this on several occasions. She banned me on several occasions. And just to put it in a nutshell, I just had like a lot of drama with the school. Right? It led to me reaching out to the founder of the school. The founder of the school, Eva Moskowitz, or whatever. I never met the woman, but I had been emailing her, or who I thought was her. I still don't know to this day whether that was really her or not, because we had been talking through email, and I had made her aware of how they were harassing me and my daughters. It had gotten so bad at the school that my daughters, they had banned me. They were successful with getting the guards, the school safety, to tell me that I can't enter the school. I have to drop my daughters off at the door. This is how they were treating the so-called parents, right? The so-called parents, because I don't really use that word anymore, right? You call yourself a parent, that means that you're what? Paying rent to rent your daughters? What the hell? Check out the etymology of that word. So I don't use that word, but they were forcing mothers and fathers to drop if they didn't want you in the school, they would write out your ban letter and tell you, well, you have to bring your kids, but you can't come into the school. And so they kept harassing me with that. Never mind, I became a parent, a member of the Parents Teachers Association. Never mind, I was going to meetings. I was like dedicating a lot of time to the school, just very involved in my daughter's school activities. Very involved, just connecting with the teachers, trying to volunteer times to come to the classroom, to do work in the classroom. I wanted to be involved in, however I had to be involved in Beauty and Mickey's academics, I was getting involved. But they didn't want me involved. That's the part I was missing. They'll tell you, oh, we want your partnership, we want this one, but they don't really want to see your face there. They don't really want you involved. Because a parent, or a so-called parent, that is too involved in their child's activities, according to my situation, I don't know about your situation, maybe you weren't harassed like me, but I know the reason why they targeted me. Now I do. At the time I didn't, but now I do. I know that they target the educational system targeted me because I'm a chosen one. Okay, I'm a chosen one. That's why, and they know it. They know it. So, they were just like sending me these banned letters and just trying to make my life hell, but getting mad because I was still coming to the school very happy, very loving on my daughters every day. My daughters were fresh and happy to be with their mom. They were mad. They were mad. And they started to like write fake reports on me. They were still trying to like get up in my face, but at this point, I had already let them know it can go down, and it will if you keep on being disrespectful to me. If you keep on being disrespectful to me, you don't even know me. You don't know me. You don't know how I get down. Stop trying to act like you so tough. Stop trying to front like you're from the street when you're not. Okay? And if you know anything about me, you'll know how I get down. Stop coming up in my face. Little Miss Muffet sat on the tuffet. Stop coming up in my damn face, Snow White. Stop. You don't want to do that. Because what you're going to do is you are going to cry brutalization. That's what you're going to do. You're going to call the cops, and then it's going to be a whole other situation. Get out my face. Get out my, I'm not bothering you. I'm dropping my kids to school. Stop approaching me. It's like they're antagonizing. I guess they done heard the stories and can't even really believe it's me, right? So, when they hear stories about you and then they actually see you up front and personal, they're like, oh, like, we want to test her. What you testing? Test your damn self. Test to see if you right in your damn mom, because I am. I'm out of my damn business. I'm getting on with the get on. Get out my way. You can't stop me. This is what I'm telling you now. You cannot stop me. I have a right to be here. If you have some type of restraining order or whatever you have, show it to me. So, and it has to be legal, because if anything, I have a right to be here and to drop my daughters off. Stay out of my face. You're harassing me. And this is why I told the founder. Now, the founder tells me by email, she tells me, oh, well, you know, I, and I'm telling, I'm like, I'm being harassed by these principals. They're getting up in when I'm with my kids, they're getting up in my face. It could be 3-4 of them at a time. They're approaching me, getting up in my face. And all I want to do is like drop my kids to school, and they're blocking me from moving ahead. Listen, I exercise my freedom of movement. Don't try to stop me, like you're violating my space. And I had it at one point when they did this to me. Had I not looked around and saw so many doggone kids, I looked around, I saw the kids and other mothers, dealing with their kids. I said, God be with me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I said, Lord God, yeah, this lady would have been on the floor, how she was up in my face. I had to look around like this. And I saw all the other kids in I was like, you know what? Let me just get on up out of here with me and my kids. Let me just go. The security, and now the security guards, they concerned about me. I mean, not the security, school safety. The school safety, now at this point, they very much involved because they see what's going on. And, so I became like real cool with them. And they were like, listen, listen, check this out. Get your kids out of here, man. See, they say is not what's going down in here, you don't want to be a part of. They said, we work here every day and we see a lot of crazy stuff that's going on here, Cerise. And it's not good. It's not good. And I got that message. So I was like, you know what, I didn't move quick enough. So I said, let me just go on. Let me just go on, move on. I'll homeschool my kids. I contacted the founder. I told her my plans. I said, I need to be assisted with homeschooling. And perhaps I should not have told them I moved. Maybe I should have just done it. But at the time, I really thought, I even asked them, I said, listen, I'm going to take me and my kids and we're going to have I wanted to take them out of town. I wanted to, go and visit my family out of town, and I was gonna put in a leave of absence to the school. Don't you know? They told me, and I have it in email too. And just in case, because I did move ahead to file a lawsuit. Um, but I said to them, I want to take a leave. I'm informing the school. This is what I said. I'm informing the school about my leave of absence. I'm taking my daughters on a leave of absence to travel and to do some things different. And I just need your assistance, which I didn't. Which I didn't know that I did. I didn't need the assistance, but I just needed them to acknowledge that I would be gone. I'm taking my daughters out of the school. Don't you know? They told me I couldn't do that. I can't do that. I have to bring my kids to school. What the fuck? What do you mean I can't do? These are my kids. What do you mean I can't take them on vacation? I can't take them on a leave of absence. If it's formal, yes, you can. You can take a leave of absence. If you're traveling, if you want to change they're your kids. Yes, you can. Why? So now my argument is, how are y'all going to tell me I can't travel with my kids? Now that's the next argument. First of all, you're banning me from the school, right? Now you're banning me. You're telling me I can't come into the school. Now you're trying to tell me I can't travel with my kids. What if I want to move to another state? Oh, I can't go and check out. I can't check out another state or another school in another state or a school in this state or whatever the hell I want to do with my kids. You're trying to tell me I can't? I can't? Like, who are you? You're my mama? The Department of Education is my mom. The Success Academy Charter School is my mama? You're not my mama. You don't tell me what to do with my kids. So anyway, that became a big fight. So now the founder of the school, she's telling me, well, my principals of Success Academy, they're not like that. I think it's a miscommunication, she writes. It's a miscommunication, and you all should just try and work it out. There's nothing to work out, miss. She calls and then she has one of her assistants calls me. They're talking on the phone with me. They're like, Miss Holman, we really want to work this out with you. I said, well, I got into the point because they were so polite over the phone. I said, well, in order to work this out with me at this point, because I will not meet with this woman alone because she's been so very corrupt and disrespectful to me and my daughters. They've even point their fingers in my daughter's face like this, giving them the they call it. My daughter told me, this is what they do, Mom. Imagine this. This is what they do, Mom. She says her and her sister was like, I think I was late for picking them up one day. And so they bring them to the room, all the parents all the kids whose parents are late in picking them up. They have like this after school late class. So they put them all in the class and wait for the parents. And then they assign a teacher to just wait until the parents get there. So while I'm running late and my daughters are there waiting for me, the teachers are up in up in their faces, right? I guess they must have pulled out their juice. They were thirsty or whatever, started drinking the juice. And the teachers wanted them to put it away. And I guess they didn't want to put it away because they were thirsty. So they kept on drinking the juice. So the teachers come up to them, bullying them. So she go, oh, I'll give you five. I'll give you five to put it away. And this is what the teacher does to her, to them, both of them. 5, 4, in their faces. 3, 5, 4, 3. Imagine that in your face. 3, 2, in your face. 1. This is what my daughter demonstrated to me. That their hands, fingers were all in my daughter's faces. Do you know how freaking tight I was? I'm still tight to this day. I'm still tight to this day. I ain't gonna lie. When my daughter showed that to me, I had to ask her over and over because I was freaking shocked. I was shocked. I said, what did they do to you, beautiful? She kept on. I had to make her do that like over and over because I was so doggone shocked. I said, how close? I kept like, how could that? I said, beautiful. You're being honest? Like, she was like, yeah, mommy, this is what they did to me and Mickey. They had their hands in my in our faces, and they were these are these little heifers, these little white girl teachers being disrespectful to people's kids. This is what they did to my kids behind my back. And of course, I went in and I dealt with it. Of course, I caught teachers in the hallway. She was like doing some assignment in the hallway, and I went and did it to her. Did it right back and up in her face. I said, "How would you like it if I did you a countdown in your face and got up in her face?" Like, I'm not playing. But listen. Let me tell you something. I don't want to go tit for tat ever with these. I want to do something more effective. And what I did was I made some reports on these teachers and I started getting people fired. Okay? Because I said, before I whip somebody's ass up in here, they're going to be fired, right? I really would have rather had whipped their ass. And I'm not even playing. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, they don't like me so much that they are like literally going after my kids. Literally going after my defenseless daughters. Little girls, 5 and 6 years old. They harassing my kids. And you know how it turned out, right? You know how it turned out, that they went after me so damn hard that they reported me for quote unquote educational child neglect. Now, here's the point. When I told the school founder, her name is Eva Moskowitz. She is she's the school's founder, obviously, the school's founder, and she, I'm forgetting this other guy. Like, there's a couple of politicians that are invested in school, in Success Academy Charter School. They put a lot of money into this charter school, right? And it's huge around the city, right? So they were threatened by me. And if you look on the internet, you will see that there are a couple of lawsuits going on against Success Academy and all the discrimination that they do to families and the breakup of families. Because let me tell you something. When I refused to meet with this woman and I told Eva Moskowitz that she needs to meet with me and at least be there, like I'm willing to be in the same room as this disrespectful principal and all her little minions that follow her around harassing people. I am willing to meet with her if you're there. That's what I told Miss Moskowitz. I said, you need to step in and you need to come down to this school and we need to have a meeting where we're all at the table and some things need to be laid on the line. For one, I am a grown woman. I'm probably older than these women, and I will not be disrespected, and my daughters are not to be disrespected the way they're disrespecting me. And she says, "Oh, this woman, Miss Moskowitz." She says to me, "No, it was at the point where I'm on the." I'm losing track of where I was when I started. I was on the phone with one of Eva Moskowitz representatives, and she was trying to convince me to to just go and meet with the principal and everything would be fine. And I said it will not be fine unless Eva Moskowitz is there. So that was the thing, is that I refused to meet with the principal. I said, and you know what? I even said this too. I said, well, I will meet with the principal and her minions if there's security, like there's security has to be in the room because I don't feel safe with this lady uh approaching me. Not security. Oh no, why do I keep saying security? The school safety agents, they need to be there. The school safety agents need to be in the meeting at the meeting because I don't feel safe with three thugs approaching me all the time and getting up in my face. No, it won't be no 3-on-1. Should they happen to get violent, should they happen to get violent with me or whatever, and I have to get violent back on their ass. No, 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 no. They ain't gonna trick me up in no damn meeting where they get away with smacking me in the face or kicking me or whatever. I don't know. I don't think so because the way these women were operating at that point, they were being devious, very devious. So the meeting never happened because I guess they were like trying to pull that I'm white and I say so. You need to meet with those principals because I think they mentioned, well, you did sign a contract, Miss Holman, to participate. I said, and where do you see that I didn't participate? I'm actually a member of the Parents Teachers Association. So I am fully in participation with my children's academics. Don't you know that I report to the school every week to do volunteer work? What do you mean I'm not participating? The only thing I refuse to do is meet with these thugs that have been harassing me. I don't have to do what they say. They're not my boss. They're not my leaders, and they're not. I'm not a student of the school. I bring my children here to the school to get taught, and they're getting taught all right. They're getting taught all right. They're getting taught that these people, these wicked people, can harass their mom for nothing. That's what they're being taught, and I don't like it, and I'm not going to let it happen. So I'm not going to bring them here. Well, Ms. Ullman, You have to bring them to school. I said, not this school. I don't have to bring them to this school. I could bring them to my home school. I could bring them anywhere I want. They're mine. They belong to me. Those are my children. They're mine. They're not yours. Those are my daughters. Those are my daughters. They're not yours. I bring them to participate in your program. And what do? You get disrespectful with the mothers, with the so-called parents. You'll start thinking in your delusional minds that these kids belong to you. Now, if there's something in the laws that make you think that you own my babies, then honey, listen, I renege. What am I going to have to, what process is it to let you know that I'm dead ass serious about me not participating because my babies do not belong to you? And lo and behold, I never knew about any of the things that I know today in regards to martial law, in regards to all of these things that literally tie you into their systems of ward. What is it? Of making your progeny wards of the state. I had no idea at the time, but let me tell you something. They did. They know. They know. That's why they targeted me. That's why they targeted me. The lack of knowledge is what they're banking on. Our lack of knowledge is what they bank on. Oh, she doesn't know that we can take her kids if she doesn't bring them to school. And they can if you're not on your tippy toes. Yes, you do have a right to homeschool. And they throw out this little these rules, these school rules, parents rules. They have in a booklet that it gives you some direction on, like, when you want to take your kids out of school. And that's where I had got it from. I read their rules, and I said, oh, I didn't know that you can that you can actually put them on notice for a leave of absence in case you want to travel with your daughters. You can leave. You can go to a different state, maybe try and get a home in a different state or wherever. And they told me that I couldn't do that. Well, you know what? The only mistake I made is telling them my plans. I told them what I planned to do, and I didn't have to. And they used it against me. They used it against me. Because here I was thinking I had the trust of these people, and I did not. And all they wanted was my daughters. That's what they wanted. And they still have their claws in my daughters because they still hide them from me in collusion with the dad. So they ended up, because they ended up firing the principal for harassing me. I'm not sure if she works at another school or what. I did. That's. Hold on, y'all. That's one thing I don't know. I think they fired her. But I'm not sure. The sneaky things they do. Even like when one of them murders somebody, they'll make you think that they did something to they make you think they did something to reprimand them, but they actually be hiding them and transferring them and putting them in different positions that you wouldn't recognize. So who knows what they did to that corrupt woman that was thinking she was a thug, thinking she was bullying me. I said, girl, I don't think you know my power. I do not think you know my power. I'm going to wield my power in a righteous way. In a righteous way. Because it ain't no damn way I'm going to let you thugs bully me and my daughter. Daughters. Got two. Any case. So now let's bring it up to date. Right? This all happened in 2017. Right? And I'm not going to stay too much longer. This all happened in 2017 now. Right? Now let's bring it up to date to the elections that are going on, right? Just recently, we know Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, President Donald Trump got into he was giving a rally somewhere, I think it's Butler, Pennsylvania. And while giving his speech, there were shots fired at him. So he they almost killed him. They almost shot him. Well, they did shoot him. They shot Donald Trump the other day. He grazed his ear. Okay? He could have gotten shot in the head. God forbid. And I was watching the speech when it happened. And it's very, very sad. And honestly, as I was watching it, before it happened, a thought came into my mind that it was something like that was about to happen. Strange enough. Something just crossed my mind. It just quickly was like, I was looking at him talking and I was like, what is something? I said to myself, something's about to happen. I said, something is about to happen in my mind. And no sooner than I said it, he flinched and touched his ear, and then he went and dropped. And while he was dropping, I was dropping too. I started looking around. I was like, oh my. And then I looked and I was, I mean, when he dropped, I think I dropped. Like I went like that, like, oh my goodness. I said, and then I got closer to the TV, and I was like, oh my goodness. So it reminded me of when I was a little girl and we were all watching the assassination of, was it Robert F. Kennedy? My grandmother used to watch the Kennedys, and she liked those people very much. She never spoke bad about them. She liked the Robert F. Kennedy, so the Trump thing reminded me of that, and I was just so shocked. It was upsetting to see that. That's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. Yeah, really. So, I was hoping that he didn't get hurt. And I'm gonna make my own little commentary specifically for that particular that particular incident. But let me move on from that because I'm just so glad that he didn't get shot, like to that he didn't die, that he didn't get killed. They didn't kill him, so they missed. Eh, they missed. So and moving on from that, God bless you, Trump. God bless you, Trump. Thank the Most High that those wicked, wicked, evil people didn't get away with their plan. Because you know what? God is the Most High. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Most High. And they will reap what they sow. So, as we know, Joe Biden is no longer, well, he's still the president, but he had to step down because he's an elderly man. He's an elderly man right now, and he's not operating too good. So they just need to leave him alone, which they should have done a long time ago. Long time ago. Leave that man alone. Like, stop forcing him to be out there campaigning. He's elderly. Leave that man alone. Okay. Um. So we know they decided to put Kamala, Kambala. I'll call her Kambala. This woman is running now for president, right? I don't have anything good to say about her run. If she can run, I guess I better run too. Because this woman is so diabolical. She's so wicked and evil. She's so wicked and evil that she actually had to, like her and her whole team, camp, or whatever they want to refer to themselves, the squad, or I don't know. I don't know what these people are, just so weird. Right? I think they got that weird thing from me because I call them weird. All of them. You might have some good ones in there that don't want to even affiliate themselves with that weird clique. But I'll tell you this. That woman, what she just put out, well, I don't know when she put this video out, was she saying that the parents, she had been locking up the parents and charging them with truancy when the kids don't go to school. Let me tell you something. This is what they did to me. And you heard the whole hour that I just took to tell you what was going on with me and my daughters, right? When I decided to take my daughters out of their school and homeschool, they really started to bully me, right? They really started to bully me. They ended up telling me that if I don't bring my kids to school, they were going to report me to ACS. So you can't report me to ACS for not wanting to bring my daughters to your school. I don't have to bring my daughters to your school. I want to homeschool my daughters or either change them to another school, and I do not want to bring them to your school. Do you know they called ACS on me and reported me for educational child neglect? They lied and said, oh, I missed like a whole month. They were lying. They were lying. They made up like a whole, comes to find out, the whole thing was made up. They framed me for truancy. And now that Kamala is running and bragging and laughing about this whole thing, I'm sure she was behind this whole thing where they all call each other or contact each other over the phone and sit back. And unknowingly, you're like, oh, it's a small thing, it's nothing big. But it really is a big deal because they're all colluding with each other to target parents, so called parents like me. They're targeting us and laughing about it. Oh, we're the ones that put her in jail. They put me in jail multiple times. About 5 times they put me in jail. Coming after me, sending people after me to fight me, to jump me. They had a whole team of FJC officers at one point. This was happened in 2019. 2019. I went to the Human Resources Department to apply for some things. And because they didn't want me to block their efforts of putting my daughters into the foster care system, they went and assigned FJC officers to jump me and beat me. This is what they did. That Kambala, I call her Kambala embarrassment. She is a disgrace. She is a disgrace. Let me say it again. She is a disgrace. A awful, awful, terrible. She's not for the, like what evil devil would take parents away from their, they could separate. That's unlawful family separation. That is not even natural. You hear me? That's not even natural to lock mothers and fathers up because they don't want to participate in your system. Who are you? Who are you? You're nobody. You're locking up like this crazy lady. I can't even believe so many, like, it can't be. It can't be. You have these little knuckleheads that don't know what the hell they're talking about online, vouching for this lady who is faking like she's black, going around talking about she's going to lock up parents for truancy. They don't even care. Let me just say this. Even if you're saying that you are who supports the fact that some mothers and fathers aren't sending their kids to school like they're supposed to, you really think they belong in jail? Or maybe somebody can step in, like in my case. Like, you really think I belonged in jail for saying I don't want my kids going to your school? So, lock her up if she doesn't want to. No, I wanted my kids to either homeschool or go to another school. I don't belong in jail. What's wrong with these people? No, they're trying to enforce that because they want to exercise their imagined authority over other people. You don't got no goddamn authority over me. You don't got none.